And look, what is religion really? I mean, we look at religion and we think about it as being an organized kind of people get together and they're in a structure and there's some priest. It's hierarchical, and when in fact maybe not. Maybe it is just this the early, like for example, I think the whole idea that religion stemmed from these particular plants or mushrooms, I consider that to be just common sense. I mean, why else would people create this other? And early, I mean, why would Christianity adopt this? Eat the bread and drink the wine, the body of the Christ. Well, that makes perfect sense for me too, because you're communing with this other part of who we are. So to me, I just feel like all of those early religions started out in a much different and could very well have been communal rites, but it was something not like everybody sitting in a church pew, kneeling down occasionally or singing a hymn or anything like that. No, it was a much broader, probably orgiastic type of community. So to me, that's really at the root of most religions, and certainly over time you build up more mythologies around what's going on, and right down to where you're getting to the rites of Eleusis, where people go to Eleusis for this experience, and there's still some speculation of exactly what they were doing there, but certainly one of it was to have this very specific, special experience there, which was you could call it an initiation to some degree. But there's enough evidence of these plants and especially mushrooms. I just think the mushroom is something that I mean, and this is where, to me, the difference between mushrooms and ayahuasca, without going into, okay, what are the actual feelings or visual or anything like that, is simply that the mushroom is actually kind of pretty simple. Here it is. It's a psilocybin mushroom. Eat it. There you go. It's not like marrying two plants together, cooking this brew, hoping it turns out to be the same as last time, or maybe not. So the mushroom, to me, plus its phallic shape, fits in so perfect to who we are, and it's so easy in that sense too. And you have to believe that people discovered it pretty early on, because they're out there foraging for all sorts of things, and they do learn about plants and mushrooms and which ones are good to eat, which ones you have to avoid, which ones stimulate you in this other manner. So in that sense, the history of it, I think, is clear. There's plenty that has been written about that. The Christ was just, in my opinion, the culmination of so many other Christ-like figures that came along through all of these other religions. And they all of these figures and all these had the same attributes. So that he came along, it's like, look, I don't believe in the historical Christ. No, and people interpret the Bible any way they want, but I look at it in a totally different manner as other people would. There's certainly enough information out there and enough iconography that of mushrooms in Christian churches and so on. I don't know if you're familiar with the book that Gordon Wasson wrote, Soma, Divine Mushroom of Immortality, and then John Allegro wrote his book about the Amanita mushroom, sacred mushroom, and the cross. All of the information is there. It's just that the mainstream media does not want to. I mean, do you really want to push back on Christianity? Oh God, look out! Be careful. That's a subject that, boy, if you go out there, like if I were to go out there and say, well, you know what, Christ was actually a mushroom, people would want to have me committed, right? I mean, it's like, and I believe that. Just like Wasson demonstrated that, in fact, the soma was a mushroom, and I believe that too. I mean, think about this for a second. Why are cows sacred? Well, if a mushroom grows out of cow dung, why not? And Krishna, he's a blue god. He's shown with an umbrella that happens to look just like a mushroom. He's associated with cows. I mean, it's all right there if you want to look at it. Now,